Micah Frankel, once again, and still inside the Cage Mind studio, Cage Mind's office. This is like now going to be attempt number 4. We're going to call it twice on Zoom. Didn't work out. Once over there on Instagram. Guess Montreal is restricted. You never know what you're going to see in MMA, combat sports. This past weekend, Fight World 31, Revel Event Center here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. First time I've ever seen the main event not happen. And we were told that there was a medical situation happening in the back, and hopefully we get cleared up and the fight would be able to take place. Well, the fight between Ty Miller and Montrell James did not happen. And unforeseen circumstances not allowing the fight to happen. As far as I was told and from what I saw backstage, the promotion did everything they could along with the commission to try to facilitate the fight still happening. It did not. Obviously, that is a huge disappointment for Ty Miller, who was coming back after a year away due to the ACL injury. So this was going to be a huge moment for him. Montrell James says there's more to the story. So we are trying to get him added right now. See, he is here. Everybody followed over from Instagram. We got a lot of questions to ask Montrell, and it says we are adding him right now. Hopefully this time I can hear it.
It works.
Okay, cool.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, I can hear you.
Cool. Okay. We can hear each other. Fight World is what we're here to talk about.
You breaking up a little bit.
Fight World 31 is what we're here to talk about. The fight was not able to happen. Somewhere throughout the domain, it seems like that's when people at ringside became aware of the situation. The announcement was made after the event. So, where did your side of the story start from?
Honestly, well, first off, thank you for having me on the show. Shout out to everybody that's a fan. Shout out to those who hate me. Hey, it is what it is. I do apologize to those fans that were there that night. My fans and my opponent fans, I do sincerely do apologize, but it's deeper than what it is in the fight lane. This is more business, not, it's business and fight. But for me, I represent myself, so I have 2-on-1 in situations, put like that. So outside of me being a fighter, I also conduct my business. So basically, me and one of the matchmakers by the name of Mr. Judy. His name is, I believe, Jonathan Judy. Me and him basically had a discussion where prior to this fight that was matched, I had just explained to him that I was just under suspension in another state due to the situation that we all had a situation with the night of the fight. Basically, I tested positive in Texas for cannabis. Now, I explained to the gentleman everything that was going on and how everything went down. He still said, all right, it shouldn't be no issues. You wouldn't be getting drug tested. It's a recreational state, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I said, all right, cool. He commits, moved forward, and helped me with a fine. So we moved forward to the night of the fight and everything. They tell me that I had to do a drug test, which led me to say, I'm cool because I would rather deal with the situation I'm in than step into some more shit where I'm getting suspended or worse. You know what I'm saying? And me as a businessman in my own entity, I felt like I was making the right move outside of going in, jeopardizing my record, possibly being swindled out of more money. It's a lot more other things outside of what it was. So me and whatever rumors people may have said that I'm scared or avoiding a loss, that's inaccurate. It was more of the business side of things that led to me just wanting to not fight. That's kind of pretty much sums it up. Me and the matchmaker had a misunderstanding where me as a businessman, I just stood on my business and just pulled myself out of the situation. I was there, hands wrapped, everything. They told me basically not to go pee before the fight, which led me to ask, can I speak to a commissioner? Excuse me, to ask in detail, am I obligated to fight? Well, am I obligated to take a drug test? They said, since I am the main event, I have to take the drug test. I was told that it was supposed to be at random, etc., all type of little stuff. But overall, it was due to miscommunication in business, and a lot of people, a lot of fighters, fans, supporters, they may misconstrue it or look at it in so many different lanes and their own perspective. They can have their own options and their own opinions. My bad. But for me, I represent myself, so I feel like I made the best decision for me. Outside of me knowing that I possibly being suspended or whatever, this is not my first rodeo or my first go around the block. So basically, that would led to me not competing that night. Um, Other than that, I went to my opponent, shook his hand, looked him in his face, and told him specifically what why I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting for a disrespectful promoter. I'm not going to fight for a person that have poor communication skills and just treat their fighter any kind of way. He made it seem as if he understood, but it was what it was. You know, he's still young in the game. It could be whatever he chooses to want it to be, but at the end of the day, he has a gym and some more of the people that he's under that he represents basically. When I came by myself with my wife. To most people in this fight game, that's come off as a lot of intimidation. Like, I have mad confidence to come to enemy territory with no team. So they looked at it as, we have to mentally break this guy down in some shape, form, or fashion. And that's just how I looked at that situation.
I do know from living out here in Mexico, it is normal for all main centers to get tested. And yeah, cannabis is legalized in Mexico, but as far as the athletic commission goes, they still do test for it. And I know that outside of the main event, they do randomize the other professionals on the card, depending on if there are more or if amateurs will get tested. But as far as I've known, main events in the state always get tested. That is a for sure thing. So you're saying that was not communicated to you?
Yeah, so when I asked the people, basically, is there anything in their rules and regulations or any policies that states these things that actually says it, no one was able
But
to.
you didn't know you was main event.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that too. I'm glad you said that. I didn't even know I was main event until I got there, and I actually got to weigh-ins. And they also try to play it off as the fight card war to be able to move around. I didn't even know most of the card was all amateurs. I didn't even know that. I thought like everybody on the card was like 0-1, 1-0, 0-1, 1-0. Me and him is the only ones who basically. I'm the only one who was the most seasoned fighter. I had the most fights out of everybody on the card.
Yeah, that's correct.
So it was like, you brought me in just to make a show. Like, he tried to paint me out to be as I'm the bad person, and that's not the case. It was just a bunch of miscommunication. That's the only thing I'm gonna keep saying on both ends. Where to the point where I felt the need not to repeat myself and just remove myself, because at the end of the day, I would have to deal with it legally instead of, like I said, jeopardizing my record, stepping into some more stuff where I feel as a professional I shouldn't have to do because I already established it before I got to this point.
So in other states that you fought and you headlined, were circumstances different?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
In fights, in states, other states that you fought in before, and you've been in main event positions, have circumstances been different in that line of drug testing?
See, I'm glad you brought that up. I've been main event, co-main event, and you can look this up on Tapology. I can send it to you. I've been co-main event and main event and never been tested. Never. And I fought in Florida. I fought in a couple of states. I would say Florida, Detroit, my bad, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Washington, North Carolina, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas. Texas is the only state that I ever been tested in, and that was for a boxing match, a 4-round boxing match at that. And I wasn't even a co-main event or none of that. I was just, they said they randomly popped me, and that was due to the same kind of situation I had, where these matchmakers and promoters I keep bumping heads with them because of me just simply saying no. And that's what's wrong with this fight game. And I'm not trying to be the one that spoils it for the next person or anyone's business. But I feel as though commissioners are there to help us fighters to make sure that we're being protected from promoters or whoever that's out there that's trying to get over on the fight game. Now, us fighters, we really don't have a voice. You feel me? Women fighters that been messed over. You have male fighters that's independent that been messed over. They've been made to look like they're crazy. They've been made to look like they're dangerous and they're just out to attack people. But yet no one's really talking out or speaking for themselves because everyone's being shut up. Everyone's being quiet. Everyone is just being put in their place where, oh, well, he's suspended or she's suspended. Well, why? Like with the Texas situation, now it's crazy because for the person who helped me, Mr. Judy, he helped me with the case. He helped me pay a fine in Texas just to bring me to you guys' state, just to tell me, oh, we gonna have to drug test you. Why? Why did you pay my fine? Why did you help me pay a fine? You put $250 towards a fine that you knew an athlete that smokes cannabis. He states it to you, told you this, and you still follow suit and pay the fine for him just to bring him out, to clear his suspension and everything, just to put him back in the same situation.
Was there any conversation, and you don't need to rehash this, I know a lot of that's part of it because it's medical, but was there any conversation backstage upon if you would have taken the test, obviously would have tested positive, would there have been a fine? Because I understand that's probably first and foremost to you. You don't want to get fined and you're coming out to make money. You don't want to lose money. Was there a conversation of what was going to happen should you go ahead with the fight and take the drug test?
So basically what was established were we try to visualize, we try to have a mutual understanding before the co-main events finished. A gentleman by the name of Mr. King, he tried to be the mediator. My wife, which is my corner man, she tried to speak to him and the other gentleman, Mr. Judy. At first, Mr. Judy was antagonizing the situation because he was very frustrated that I turned down the fight, and I said, I'm cool. I don't want to move forward with this fight. They try to come up with many possible ways to try to convince me to do it after they already threatened and took my money away from me. They told me that since I didn't want to fight, they were going to act like the fight never happened. They told me also that they was going to give me an additional $1,000 just to get into the ring and take a fall and act as if I deliberately lost. I said, no, I'm fine. I'm cool. I was being very professional about it because one, when you brought me here, before we established all of these things, I told you what's up. I don't feel like I should repeat myself because if I say anything else to you guys are gonna make me look like I'm being an aggressive black kid, and I'm not trying to be that person. However, people want to look at me because there was some older gentlemen there, so that's why I said it in the manner I just said it. But after all of that transpired, I just stood down and they said, you know what, I'm cool. They come back with security and escorted me and my wife out the premise.
Was there any conversation commission to you about if pulling out of a fight after weighing in and these circumstances, if this will at all encourage some kind of suspension or some kind of retaliation in a commissionatory kind of stance.
Honestly, no. We just assumed, and we already made our mutual decision, because if anything, from what I've dealt with before, I know if I don't move forward with something, I know it's probably gonna be a 30-day suspension or something like that. And I told them, like, I'm fine with giving me a suspension, and I'll be about my way.
Took that.
But they didn't like that. They didn't want that. They kept on trying to force the case. And I was like, look, I would rather you guys suspend me for a minimum. Like, honestly, like, I just kept telling them, like, I would have rather stay with the suspension and the issue I have with Texas than come here and you guys say, oh, well, Montreal, you tested positive and it's a large amount of marijuana coming from your test result, and now you have to be suspended for 180 days, compared to paying a $500 fine, which
In
I was
Texas,
already
that's what you got was the $500 fine, and your suspension was up after paying it.
basically, because Houston had me under administrative hold. It was being displayed online as if I was suspended, but I wasn't, because I just competed 2 months prior to being in the midst of the limbo of suspension.
Going forward, is there going to possibly be any change in what you do? Would you be somebody that would quit 2 weeks out? Because I know a lot of fighters at some high levels that they tell me, yeah, they quit about 2 weeks out from their fight, and with the extra running and the weight cut, everything comes out of their system, and they're back to medicated right after the fight.
Man, I can't really speak for nobody else, boss. I'm just gonna be able to speak for myself. I know I've been a committed smoker. I train every day. I discipline myself in the gym. My record is if you're a real true MMA person that do their research and everything, you would see that I actually stepped up to the plate and fought some real tough guys in my career. Now, I'm to the point where I've got a lot of people that try to criticize and try to give me advice at the same time and tell me, or like, oh, I need to fix this with my record, or I need to get it to half and half, and then I could be getting in conversations to the big show and this, that, and the third. But I look at it as, this is the fight game. This is not the perfect record game. This is not the perfect athlete game. This is none of that. I'm here to fight, which I was ready to do Saturday night. No ifs, no buts, no ands about it. But as a business and as a brand, I have to stand on what I bring to this game. And if I just accept anything from that man or from that promotion, that means I would stand for nothing, honestly. Me personally, with the whole cannabis thing, I haven't been in a position besides now to actually be committed to stop. I've been incarcerated twice in my life. That's probably like the only 2 times. But other than that, I'm 32 years old. I've been blessed. I've been fortunate. I'm a healthy athlete. I'm a healthy man that's been smoking. I haven't had any issues. I don't look like I do anything else other than live life. You feel me? It's sad to say that I guess because I'm not another entity or whatever. I don't understand, but like I'm not gonna bring in race. I'm not gonna bring in nothing, because at the end of the day, I'm an athlete that's trying my hardest to make it to the biggest level with all the other guys. But if me have to stop smoking is a problem, then so be it. But this was established. I didn't put myself in this situation with these people just to be pulling out. And that's one thing I don't do. I only did it once this year. I had a different promoter. It was a promotion called XFC. I was supposed to have been fighting in Detroit, Michigan for the Grand Prix or some bull crap like that. Basically, it happened again. A promoter that basically wanted undermine a fighter. Basically try to play on his intelligence, bring him in because he clearly want to have his fighter win fights. So he brought in another opponent that he just got to play buddy with just so he can make him feel good. And I understand nobody's not my friend. I can't just assume that you're my friend because you helped me fight or whatever like that. I'll have people look at that or view that. But conduct business the proper way until everything's done. You know, don't sideways talk to me. Don't blow me off like you don't see me in your face asking you like, hey, how you doing? Excuse me. That's how people be trying to treat me. And then when it comes to my wife, they try to basically disrespect her and talk to her because a lot of men don't like talking to women. A lot of businessmen don't like talking to women. And the fact that she's an African American woman, it also throws them off that she speaks very professional to them. So it comes off even more that rubs them a lot of ways wrong. So it's crazy and it's messed up, man. But moving forward, I can do my best with just, cleaning my system, but I don't put myself in these situations to be, oh, well, I'm here. You guys still gotta pay me. No, I'm not one of them fighters. I come, I show up. I also box. I have a boxing record. I come to boxing. I come to box. I come to MMA fight. I come on weight. I come underweight. I don't come. Oh well, he looked like he was 2 pounds close. No, I come underweight. I damn near missed the weight of being so far underweight. So for these people to try to paint the narrative as if, and you was at the fight, you saw me, you heard my wife, you heard her cheer for every fighter that was there. We don't come with that energy and try to make people think that we are not here to fight. I come to fight. I don't like the fact that the game get misconstrued from being fighting, and then you try to make it a mental war for a battle because you can't mentally distract this person. My bad. You can't physically do nothing to this person, so you do something with this person mentally, and that's really messed up how a lot of these promoters move. But as fighters, a lot of us fighters need to stand together, find a fighter union, find something that actually helps fighters because it's some fighters out here that's been lost in the game due to just messing with the wrong people or just being socialized with the wrong type of crowd.
I'll tell you from what I was hearing backstage and from what was going around the room about 3 minutes after it passed by me, the word got around pretty quickly. You didn't want to take a drug test. Kind of everybody knew that's why the fight got canceled off. No one was saying scared. Everyone was just confused as to, well, okay, you weed. You're gonna test it. Did you want to fight or not? It wasn't sure if it was it a suspension? Was it a fine? What?
My bad. I was told that I would be suspended. Then they came back after they made promises and they made threats. Then they told me that they would tell me I would still have to take the test, but they won't suspend me for testing positive for marijuana. But I asked them, could they put that in writing? By that time, I was already like, nah, because they made too much of a fuss about the decision. So it was like, we doing too much fast talking right now, so I don't really know what to believe. My focus should be fighting, not renegotiating a contract.
And that's what led to us seeing the wildest situation I've ever been part of life where
I wish you would have just recorded it, to be honest with you. I wish you would just put out your phone and record it. Like, promise you that would have made a lot of things coming for it, but that's not your job. Your job is to help out the promotion, make them look good, and build up content to help you out in your business. But I wish you would have recorded it because honestly, like, I asked some proper questions. I asked them like, yo, can I see this in writing? Because so put like this, when I had the situation with Houston, they told me basically at weigh-ins, they put it to my attention. They pointed to my attention that I had to, if I piss positive for marijuana or on the drug test, I am serving a mandatory 90-day suspension. Now I signed and dated that one with my John Hancock. Now when I get to this state, they don't do that. They followed you around. They tell you, oh, we gotta escort you around and this, that, and the third. And we gotta make sure we watch you and this, that, and the third, just to get to the point of like, okay, you have to take the drug test because you the co-main event or you the main event. But y'all just told everyone. Y'all just told me and a couple other people that this is random. I'm like, this don't look random, my friend. Like, I don't understand. Thank you. Like, I don't understand. So this is the question I want you to understand too. Well, this is what I kind of want you to understand too. If I know I smoke weed and I know this state possibly finna drug test me, why would I go? Why would I sign the contract?
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm not that type of person. I have, let me see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, about 15, damn near 20, damn near all together, my amateur and my pro, I damn near got 30 fights. Damn near. Why would I all of a sudden now play these games? You know, why all of a sudden now, oh well, they were drug testing me. No, like I wouldn't put myself in that situation, man. Like I'm not that type of person. That's not the time I'm on. And this person right here is an amateur, so like I could care less what they're laughing about. Like, cause half of these people I already watched, I already scoped out. Most of them is mad because they didn't get a chance to see greatness in their presence, and it's cool. You know, I'll be mad too. I'll laugh at that shit too because me personally, most of the people ain't blessed, ain't fortunate to see what I'm able to bring. And I'm just to that point now in my career that I run my business how I run my business. I just know I definitely on the end of losing where I am not in the position to take unnecessary losses no more. So I should make the best business move moving forward.
I'm guessing you're saying then you don't have any interest in working with Fight World or returning to compete in Albuquerque again.
If I do, I already got this is the under the wind thing. I already got offers from Jackson Wink to come back to train down there. So if I do, I might come back to Jackson's Wink, but it's an if. So that's just for those who want to be, you know, who cares. But at the same time, me personally, dealing with that promotion, no, I'm not dealing with Fight World no more. Me and Mr. Judy have other personal things that we have to tend to. Until then, I have no reason to fight for them. And like I said to everybody, like I have no reason to fight for. And like I told my opponent, and I say it again, like I said it to him when I shook his hand and looked him in his eyes with my underwear on in his face in his locker room. I don't fight for promoters or matchmakers who don't respect their fighters. And just because you're being brought in and you're cool, your people are cool with the promoter and the matchmaker, or your people are the matchmaker and the promoter, that just shows that you haven't been in my shoes or you haven't been on that side of the fence to understand what I'm telling you. So me personally, with the wisdom I know, I have no reason to be mad about nobody. Everyone is entitled to their feelings. Everyone is entitled to their thoughts. Me personally, I know I am very wise in my ways and what I do. So it is what it is moving forward. Me fighting for Fight World would never happen again. I would not. I would not. I would not. No. I'm just saying I would not. And I'm trying to say it in the most respectful way because I want to be an asshole because of how they displayed the stuff and how they overall, it takes two. It takes two. I do have a major part in that. You know what I'm saying? I showed up and I didn't do my part, and that was the fight. But at the end of the day, it's business. It's business. It's business. You know, it's real talk business. Like however anyone want to try to paint it, anyone want to look at it, it's business. I know what I wanted to come there to do, but once they start playing the mind games and start just doing little indirect stuff, that's when you just have to stand down, hold your peace, and move away.
And so you were the first one and the only one that we've come so far on this story. Everything else just announcer announced in the cage, and we put out unforeseen circumstances.
I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm gonna tell you another one. I'm gonna tell you another secret. So honestly, he wanted to scratch the fight from the card. He wanted to tell everybody in the audience that I injured myself. Like that's another little thing that you didn't know about. He was trying to make up some type of excuse and try to make it as if it was a medical injury and the reason why I didn't want to perform. So there's so many levels to what could have happened, what would have happened, and what should have happened. But one thing that we know that didn't happen is the fact that me and Mr. Miller didn't fight. So, like I told Mr. Miller, if he could find a fight promotion that we could make this fight happen anytime, any place, and you can verify. I guarantee you can verify it too. And you can tell if he lying because I'm saying this to your face. I'm saying this on live right now. He know I said it to him. My wife looked at him and said, "It's you have a good night, sir. We apologize. We got out of here though." Like I said it to the man. If he want to fight, we could definitely fight. Have no problem. I understand he wanted to fight in his hometown though. I know he wanted to fight in front of his friends and his family for the holidays though. But it's much more bigger than that. It's chess, not checkers, and a lot of people just don't understand that.
We've now gotten Montel James's side of the story. Taking some time tonight. It took us a couple tries to get this together, Zoom and Instagram, whatnot. You have a good night, and I thank you for wrapping a bow up here on the story so we can get more details and hear your side of it.
No, absolutely, man. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Cage Minds, and you have a good one, man.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.